What is up, guys? It's Team Trust Issues here, coming to you with another deck profile for Six Samurais. I'll go over the deck. I'll go over the reasons why I picked my side deck, my extra deck, and why I have a couple cards that most people usually wouldn't use. So let's just get right into it. Of course, have the 3 Kizans. Really need this card. 3 Kaigeki. Really good card. The 3 Kagemusha for the tuner. And then 2 Elder of the Six Samurai to get Beast, Barkion, and all that stuff that helps you get that out. And then, of course, the Grandmasters. I've been contemplating 3 and taking out this guy and just putting in a 3rd one, because with later cards in the deck I'll show you why I've been contemplating what I have. So yeah, 2 of those, and then of course 1 Zanji to get over like those marshmallows and that sort of stuff. And then we have 1 Spirit of the Six Samurai, really good card to equip to Inishi and all that. And then, or not Inishi, the Synchro dude. And then 1 Inishi, really good card. Helps me get over stuff that I wouldn't usually be able to get over along with this. So this card's really good. Nope, I dropped it. Alright. And then 1 Great Shogun Shin, just because I like having an extra 25 beater on the field. And also it's a really good card because, like, let's say they MST my back row, I'd be like, okay, I'll let that go off. Then they're like, okay, Dark Hole. I'm like, no, can't activate it. And if I have this guy and Xian on the field, I can do some really good combos with the card that I'm about to show you in just a second. Of course, we got our 2 Asceticisms, really good for targets because everything in this deck I can pretty much target with Asceticism except for the Grandmasters and the Spirit of the Six. So this card is really good, helps me synchro out a lot, really good in tight situations. Yeah, really good card. And then this is the card I was talking about, Cunning of the Six Samurai. Right. This card is amazing, especially if you're going up against like Dark Worlds or something. So let's say they activate, let's say you have Xian on the field. You have this guy on the field, you have one of these set. They're like Gates of Dark World, negate. And then you go Cunning of the Six Samurai, ditch. You have to have a valuable target in the graveyard, so you can't just activate ditch and then summon. You can ditch, and then, because of course you just synchroed, you're going to have a target in there, so you can go ditch, then target resummon, and then if they go Dark World Dealings or something, you can negate again. So it really messes them over, and Cunning of the Six Samurai is a really good card, and it also helps you synchro out a lot as well. Like, let's say you draw into something and you have a level 3, and you draw into a level 5, just go Cunning, ditch, bring back your tuner, synchro for 5, or whatever you want to do with it. And then, of course, you got your back row hate, the MSTs. And then you have the 3 United. I've actually been contemplating taking 1 of these out and putting in a Starlight Road or something, because I find that it clogs up the hand if you don't get it like in the first turn. Like midway through the game, you only have you have 0 cards in hand, 2 cards on the field, and you draw into a United. It's like, what am I going to do with this? But it's also really good for Cunning as well, because you get an extra special summon. But yeah, I've been contemplating on taking 1 of these out for a Starlight Road or a Huge Revolution is over. So yeah, let me know what you guys think on that part. And then, of course, you got the Shan Smoke Signal, since it just went to 2. Really amazing card, helps you out a lot. So yeah. And then we got the 1 Gateway, of course. For some reason, this card hates me. I never draw it until like turn 6 or 7, and by then I've already pretty much gone off. I've got everything out on the field that I need, and then I draw into Gateway, and I'm just like, what am I going to do with this? But again, it's also, this card's really good if you can pull out the cunning or the asceticism, because it gives you the 2 counters for it. So it's really good. Pot of Avarice, people have been saying no, don't run Pot of Avarice because you have the Gateway. But I like the Pot of Avarice because it's really helpful, especially if like they destroy my Beast or my Barkion or something. It's like I'm gonna need that later game, so I'm gonna go Pot of Avarice, get that back, get the tuners, get everything that I need back. So Pot of Avarice, I think it's a must in pretty much any deck except for like maybe removal or some other deck that removes stuff. So Pot of Avarice, really good card in this deck. And then of course you have staples, Heavy Storm, Dark Hole, Monster Reborn, and then reinforcements of the army. Those are pretty much self-explanatory. One double-edged sword technique. And I like this card, but usually it gets MST'd for some reason, like at my locals. And everyone's MST is like attracted to that card. So yeah, and I dropped it again. Oh no. Yeah, everyone's like really, MSTs are just drawn to this card for some reason. So I've been contemplating on taking it out at my locals, but for anyone else at their locals, you need to put this card in because it's amazing. But you only get 1 counter for like Gateway or something. If you set activate special summon 2, you only get 1 counter for the counter cards to draw or whatever. And then of course Solemn Judgment, 2 Solemn Warnings, of course, staples now that it got reprinted. And 2 Magatama. This card is amazing. I've been contemplating on running 3 and taking out this, but you know, 3 with all that and 3, I've been testing it out, and it's kind of overkill because you'll get like 2 Magatamas in a hand. You're just like set, and then you're like special go. And like these pretty much protect this, but I don't know. I'm gonna have to test it out a little bit more. So yeah, that's for the spell, monster, and trap lineup. And then I'll go straight into the side deck or the extra deck, whatever. All right. You got 1 MX Saber Invoker and 2 Blade Armor Ninjas. Amazing combo with MX Saber, Invoker, and Blade Armor Ninja, because you can go overlay with 3, detach, special summon an Inishi, or not Inishi, whatever that frickin' 4 Earth is. Special summon in defense, special summon another one, overlay for Blade Armor Ninja, detach. And that's pretty much game right there, because usually when you pull this out, you have Inishi. Or Shien out, excuse me. Sorry, I keep getting those 2 confused. So these 3 cards, I think, are a must in this deck, because there's so many plays you can get off with this, especially with asceticism and all that stuff. Amazing 3 cards in this deck. And then, of course, you have your Shien. And then you have your Beast and your Barkion. Need these cards these cards in this deck. I guess in sectors they're not that good, but against anything else they're pretty good, especially if you can pull both of them. Especially if you can pull both of them out. Excuse me, sorry. 1 Catastor, of course. 1 Flameville Uruquizas, or however you pronounce it. If I had a Brionac, I would have it instead of this card. But yeah, since I don't have a Brionac at the moment, this card for sure. Gaia Knight, Force of the Earth, just because he's a beater for no reason. Iron Chain Dragon. I pull this guy out a lot against Lightstorms, because usually, if I know they don't have any more wolves, I'll be like summon, attack, mill their 3. And usually those 3 cards, they're pretty low on cards anyway, so attack and just starts milling them out. 1 Ancient Fairy Dragon, just because I don't have any 7 stars at the moment, but it's a really good staller, and also it helps set up plays for the Blade Armor plays. And then Red Dragon Archfiend, and Stardust Dragon, of course. Amazing cards. That's why I've been contemplating the Starlight Road, or the Huge Revolution, is just so I can help get Stardust out. And of course Mistworm because Trishula is banned. And then Allied Justice Decisive Armor, because he really helps me get over those skill drain, like the skill drain Malefic stuff, and also just because against like fairies and Piper and stuff like that, it's really good because I'm just gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna ditch one card in my hand, which I usually have anyway, and I'm gonna send your monsters to the graveyard. So that's the Synchros and all that. And I'll go into the side deck. This side deck is just for my locals. This is not for a YCS play, but like for my personal locals, because there's a lot of Insectors. There's like 2 wind-up decks and some other like Chain Burn and stuff like that. So yeah, I'll just show you this for my locals. Make changes to your deck, to your side deck according to your locals. We got one Drone Lockbird for Exodia and FTK. Exodia FTK plays. And then we got Gores for the random chain burns that we see. And then 2 Imperial Iron Wall for removal, of course. And then we got an extra MST for the removal, skill drains, stuff like that. And then of course we have the 3 Effect Veilers for of course Insectors, wind-ups, some Dark Worlds, because all of them are playing that Trans Archfiend thing, and I'm just like, no, I don't want you to gain that attack. They still get the discard sometimes, but you know, whatever. And then of course you got 3 DD Crow for, again, the Insector matchups and wind-ups. Usually if I'm going up against wind-ups and Insectors, I side pretty much my entire side deck. I side all this in against wind-ups and Insectors, just because there's a lot of them running around and I don't feel like losing to Insectors. So yeah, that's basically the deck profile. Let me know what you guys think, what you guys would change about the deck, and remember this side deck is just for my locals, because everything in here is adapted to my local, so make changes. But also give me some commentary and feedback on what you guys think of the deck, what you would change for it. And yeah, Team Trust Issues signing out. Peace.